What is up, guys? I'm Ryan, and in this video we're going to go over some polynomial integrals practice questions. Alright, so for 5.5. Alright, let's start. This question you should already, again, whenever we're doing these practice question videos, you should already know how to do all these questions, right? But if you don't, here are the solutions. So this question right here, how do you do it? Well, let's see. We have an integral of this chunk right here, right? So let's rewrite it to make it look nicer. 5 times v over 2, 5 times 1 over v squared, I can write it like this, right? Exponent rules. And I can rewrite the next one as like this, right? And then we have dv. So we have v here instead of x, so we have v here as our variable instead of x. Do it exactly the same, it's just not x, okay? It's just another letter. It's the same thing, all right? So again, what do? We have a 5, we have numbers here, and we have our variables here, right? So then how do we find the integral of polynomial? Again, the numbers stay as numbers, so we write the numbers down first. 5 and negative 4, right? Now, what about this? V to the power of negative 2. What do you write? We write negative 2 plus 1 like this, and then power plus 1, right? Always power plus 1 like this, right? And then for the second part, again, V power plus 1, power plus 1. Very simple, right? And then we don't forget the, what do you need to do? Plus C. Remember the plus C, right? Plus C is always there. Okay, what's next? 5, negative 4 stays there, right? Does not change at all. Okay, now v negative 2 plus 1 can be rewritten like this to make it nicer. We're just simplifying everything now, okay? It should be very straightforward, very easy, yeah? And then here, plus c, and then this will be final answer, negative 5, v negative 1, minus 4, and negative 4, these cancel out, right? These cancel out because negative 4, so basic algebra plus v negative 4, and then we have our plus c at the end. Don't forget the plus c again, very important. So to make it look nice, just like this, boom, 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 plus c. Final answer, done. Okay, very simple. Now, do we need to figure out a number? Do we need to put in a number here for this c? The answer is no. Why? Because we do not have a point. They did not tell us this passes through a point. It doesn't say pass through what points, right? So no point given. Therefore, no need to find what c is. Okay, this question is done. Final answer in the square. Okay. All right, on to the next question here. Again, pause the video and try to do this question by yourself, okay? All right, on to the next question. Again, you should already know how to do this. Let me first make some changes to this question. I want this to be x cubed, and I want this to be 1 and 2. Okay, pause the video, try to do this by yourself, see if you can do it. Okay, if you can't, here's the how to do it. So we know that in order to find the original equation, we have to first integrate, and then sub point back in to find c, right? So you should already learn this from last video. Okay, now on how to do it. To do this integral, so to do step 1, to find this integral, there are actually 2 methods. The first method is integrating by substitution, but we haven't really learned how to do substitution yet in this set of videos, so I'm going to do it the basic algebraic integration, so no substitution. But if you really want to do substitution because you've watched ahead in the videos or already know how to do substitution, by all means go for it, see if you can do it with substitution. But how I'm going to show you the simplest way. Okay, so the simple way to do it is rewrite this first to be like this. Okay, so since x cubed is in the bottom, I can put it as x to the power of negative 3, right, based on the exponent rules. And then what I can expand like this, right? So if I distribute, what's going to happen is integrating x to the power of negative 2 plus x to the power of negative 3 dx, like this, yes? Okay, so now again, this is just a polynomial, this is just a polynomial, so how do I integrate? So if I integrate this, it's going to be x to the power of this negative 2, right? So negative 2 plus 1, right? Power plus 1, okay? Let's change the color over power, and then plus 1, right? I want this to be a different color as well. Okay, plus x over something plus 1, and here pink, negative 3. Oops, negative 3 plus 1, right? So our original function is fx is equal to, okay, x to the power of negative 1 over negative 1 plus x to the power of negative 2 over negative 2, and remember, don't forget, plus c, right? We need the plus c, okay? And then, write it nicer, negative 1 over x, right? Actually, let's write it even better. Negative 1 over x minus 2 over x squared plus c, okay? This is just very basic algebra. You should know how to convert from here to here, right? Because negative 2 is just negative 2 here. Oh, I made a mistake. this is supposed to be in the bottom, right? Because it's negative 2. Negative 2 is in the bottom, so made a mistake. 2 is supposed to be here, 1 over. Okay? So, now, are we done yet? No, the answer is no. We need to find a number for C, right? Find a number for C. Because we want to recover the original equation. Leaving like this is not done yet because we're given a point. So what do you do now? You need to substitute this point into here, right? 1, substitute with x. 2, substitute here, right? Okay, so let's do it. So we have 2 is equals to negative 1 over 1 minus 1 over 2, 1 squared plus c, okay? So 2 is equals to negative 1 minus 1 over 2 plus c, right? So it's going to be 3 plus 1/2 plus equals c. So this is going to be 7 over 2 equals c. So we know that c is equal to 7 over 2. Now are we done? The answer is no, we're not done yet because we got to rewrite the original equation, right? So it's negative 1 over x minus 1 over 2x squared plus 7 over 2. Now are we done? The answer is yes, now we're done, okay? So remember, the final answer is here, okay? So now we got the final answer. This is the final answer, okay? How to do it without integration by substitution, but with just basic integration, okay? Finally, last question, definite integrals. Definite integral is finding the curve, right? They're being nice. They already showed you what they're trying to look for, okay? Area under the curve, meaning the area between the line here, the graph, and the x-axis. So here, the shaded area, right? So how do you rewrite this as an integral, first off? Well, if you recall from the last video, we have to rewrite this and this here, right? 1 and 2. How come this is negative 1? How come this is 2? Because we start finding the area at negative 1, and we stop finding the area at positive 2, right? So the official name for this, we call this the upper bound. Okay? Official name for this is called the lower bound. But how do I like to call it? I just call it the start and the end, okay? Because upper bound, lower bound, too complicated. Start and end, very simple, okay? Start here, end here. Okay? Now, what do you write in the inside? Well, obviously this is the only function we have, right? So just put this in dx like this, okay? So how do you find the integral of this? Okay, very simple. So first we write down what's the integral of x to the power of 3. X to the power of 3, very simple, right? Power plus 1 over power plus 1. And then minus x power plus 1 over power plus 1, right? And then we have a plus c. Do we need a plus c? No need, because we're doing definite integral. When we're doing definite integral, we don't need plus c, right? Look back at the previous video if you forgot. But what do we need to, even though we have no plus c, we need to do the big brackets like this and negative 1 to 2 to show that we're integrating with this range, right? Start and end, okay? Now what do? We need to do subtraction, right? End minus beginning, right? So how do you do it? We first simplify x to the power 4 over 4 minus x squared over 2, right? Then we need to substitute the 2 in. If we substitute the 2 in, and we also need to substitute the what in? We also need to substitute the green in, right? Green in. Okay, so how do you do it? Blue, to substitute the blue in, we will have 2 to the power 4 over 4 minus 2 squared over 2, right? And then what do we need? We need to subtract by green. Subtract green, right? So if we subtract green, it will be negative 1 4 over 4 minus negative 1 squared over 2, okay? Then blue will be 2 to the power 4 is 16. 16 over 4 is 4 minus 4 over 2 is 2 minus green is negative 1. So 1 over 4 plus 1 over 2, right? Okay. Then 4 minus 2 is going to be 2 minus 1 over 4 plus 1/2. So it's going to be plus 1 over 4, which is going to be 9 over 4. Okay, final answer, done. Okay, that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, put it down in the comments below. Good luck, and until my next video, see you guys next time. Goodbye.